Yo mates, so I want to explain a bit something with running. So I am not someone who likes running, and I would say maybe one run out of 10 actually enjoy it, which is not a lot when you put that on a scale, kind of. So I was like, this morning I was like, I'm gonna go for a run, and well, I said that to myself yesterday actually, and then this morning I was like, I am so not feeling like going for a run today. But I'm like, I am committed to my goals, so I'm gonna do it, but really not motivated. And I was like, well, how could I motivate myself a bit more, kind of? So I searched like on Spotify motivational speech, and I was like, maybe what speech, I don't know. So yeah, I looked up on Spotify and found a playlist with lots of motivational speech. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's just try running with that in my ears and see how it could potentially impact my running or my brain or whatever. And so I tried, and I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's very, very surprising or not, but it actually made me not look at my watch all the time, looking at how many Ks I'm doing, what's my pace, and stuff like that. Yeah, and in the end I actually really enjoyed my run. So if you are struggling with running, or you just really hate it, or I don't know what, well then maybe you can try listening to motivational speech while you run, because yeah, it had also quite an impact on my pace. I was like running faster than usually. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it has some kind of like chemical whatever in your brain. I don't know what it is, but yeah, maybe you should try. So this is maybe a little tip, just take it or don't, do whatever you like with it. Hey mate, I wanted to give you a bit of a update, I guess, on what's happening in England at the moment, because I just like creating videos, so that's it. And I also just want to say, how has my experience been so far? And I would say like kind of fantastic, even though I am someone who likes doing productive stuff, and yeah, productive stuff I think we're saying, and like do stuff every day, not really having a moment for myself actually. It's not a healthy, like you can't do that for a long period of time, or maybe you can and then great for you, but I think most of the people need some time to just sit with themselves, their thoughts, their whatever. And so I've been doing that for like a week and a half maybe, and at first I was like, I'm gonna be so bored if I'm not doing anything special during 3 weeks, because I'm gonna be I still have a bit more than a week left here in England, but then I was like, I'm gonna be so bored if I'm not doing anything. But honestly, every day just goes so fast, and like I wake up, and as soon as I wake up I'm like, what am I gonna do with my day? This is gonna be so like, yeah, I'm just gonna spend some time just watching the clock going, like, yeah, I'll be so bored basically. But then I wake up and then I find something to do, working on something, and then yeah, I just find another thing to do, and everything just goes so quickly, but in a good way, not in a way of, I don't know how to explain this. But yeah, so I'm just happy with my schedule, I believe. And what I also wanted to say was that I've been on so many walks. I'm using an app that's called Komoot. I don't know if you know it. And they show trails. And I was like, well, this is great. I can follow a path, and they've got different distances, so I can just choose whatever I want to do. That's what I've been doing. So I've been doing trails for, I don't know, a week, something like that. But now I was using another app called All Trails, but I did all the 3 trails that there was on that app. Basically, I switched up, and then I was like, well, this is great. I've got more options, more everything. So yesterday, that's what I did. And then I ended up completely lost in the middle of the woods. And I don't know how, I really don't know how, I just found my way back on the track. But honestly, I was like, well, at first I was not stressed at all. I was like, well, I mean, I'm in England, it's fine. And then after searching for quite a long time to find a track back, I was like, well, I'm starting to be like, what happens if I can't find a track? Not a lot of service, like, yeah, not really good. And then I don't know how I'll find the track back again. And there was also a storm coming, and I didn't want it to be in the woods with a storm. But I managed to just get back on track, don't know how, and be at home before the storm. So today I went on another trail, and I was like, okay, this time I'm watching how many people like did a star or something on that trail to make sure that people actually did it. And I thought it was okay because I saw like 6 people saying, I mean 6, that's nothing, but I still thought, well, this is going to be fine, and I like some adventures. Little did I know that I would end up again in the middle of nowhere in a like corn field. And yeah, first that, so no tracks, but then I was like, well, I'm not gonna do like go backward because otherwise it's going to take twice as long, and I don't want to do that. I'm committed to this trail, so I'm gonna do this trail. And so yeah, first that, and then at some point I was already quite annoyed kind of, because I thought there was going to be a track and there was none. And then I was in a cow field, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope they're not just going to come at me. And then just after that I went on the road, and on the road there was like a big amount of water, and I could not path. Like I was like, well, maybe it's not too deep, like I can just, well, the other thing is that I had shoes, but they were all broken. They were still like not completely falling apart because, wait for it, but they were, yeah, I knew that there were some gaps, and so if I would go in the water there would be plenty of that in my shoes. At that point I was like, if that's what needs to happen, then so be it. But I actually found that the water was actually quite deep. So I was like, well, this is great. I don't know how I need to get like, I don't know, 10 meters past that, just that, but I can't, because I can't pass that. I don't know how a car came and was like, oh, do you need a lift to just the other side of the river? Because that was a river in the end. And I was like, oh my gosh, God bless you, thank you. So she dropped me just 10 meters after that big flood thing, whatever. And then at some point I needed, so I kept on walking. This is gonna be so long, oh my god. And then that's why it's a YouTube video, because it's gonna be longer. But if you are not interested into my story, then feel free to just skip it. So yeah, after that I arrived to another point where I was like, there's supposed to be a track here, but I can't find any. So I asked someone, I was like, is there a track? And then she was like, yeah, but it's like the nature is outgrowing the track, so I'm not sure you're gonna be able to pass. And I was like, because I was already completely with like scratches everywhere and stuff like that, I was like, how worse could it get? So I was like, oh, that's fine, I'm just gonna go and try and see, which I did for like 20 minutes. And I was like, I have to give up on this because there is no track anymore, or I have to go like my whole body in, I don't know how we call that, like those stinky plants, which I did at some point, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I had to turn back and make my way to, I wanted to go to a viewpoint, but then my shoe, like my left shoe, completely broke. I was walking and I felt something weird, and then I looked at it, and then just a few meters after that, the shoe, like the below part just fell apart. And so like, well, I guess this is the sign that I just need to go back to the house. So I'm still proud of myself because I did 10Ks and I walked for like a kilometer and a half with a broken shoe. But yeah, that's the story about the trails here in England. It's something. Oh, and let me show you how are my arms and legs now. we are back home, so back in Belgium, and again, it's been a little while since I came back from England, probably about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I don't know, and then I went to Austria and in Slovenia for a week. But I wanted to do a bit of a debrief, or I don't know how to call that, of my England experience, because as I said in the video, I didn't do much, but it's crazy how much good not doing anything brought me. I don't know if that makes sense. And yeah, I would just advise you to take some time off, and it's, I think, the first time that I was really okay with not doing anything and taking some time off from everything, from my brain maybe a tiny bit too, because that is so exhausting being me. Not saying that, yeah, anyways, yeah, so I think you should definitely give yourself a bit of time to not do anything productive or not do anything at all, and try and work on yourself with being okay not doing that, because you can do it but not being okay not doing it, not doing anything. But the goal is to be okay with that, and you'll see it's gonna bring you so much good and you'll feel so much more relaxed and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely just very happy about my England experience, and despite the fact that some people could say, well, you were in England, so why didn't you do much? Why didn't you move to a lot of places and see things? Who said that you have to do that? Like, you can just do whatever you like, right? And sometimes I feel guilty for not doing anything and just staying at home or just walking and not really go sightseeing and stuff. But you do you. You don't have to do a lot of things because people told you you should do a lot of things. I guess that's just a little advice to just take some time off, especially if you're going to start uni very soon. And that's like now or before was the moment to just take some time off. So I think that's going to be quite it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. That would be great, because not having any response or not having any feedback is not gonna help me improve, if that makes sense, because it is all about improvement and all about delivering things that I like and things that you like as well. So please let me know what you thought about the video, what you would like to see, how I could improve what I do. Yeah, and soon it'll be uni. Maybe I'll document my uni life, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, I just hope you had some great time watching this, and hopefully see you soon.